I'm politically independent, so it isn't always easy to get the information, but I persist.
Hello, I'm Mike DeLuca, running for the one-year at-large position. I speak a lot about what I've done for you in the past on my video and in my flyer. Tonight I'd like to focus on what I plan to do if I'm elected as your director. We all know that we have to get out from under this loan. The maintenance is killing our property values. And we all know that we must finish our lobbies, our hallways, the elevators, and all the other unfinished projects. It's a no-brainer. We have to get rid of those things. But these are some of the things I want to do for you as our residents. I want to return our services back to normal. I want to bring back some of our employees. We're paying employees overtime now. We laid off employees, especially for our senior citizens and our disabled folks here. They need help when they come home, and right now we don't have it. And I'll do this even if I have to work the doors myself. I will increase the number of handicapped parking spaces for our disabled residents. But we have people with 2 or 3 spots near the doors of the garage, and we have disabled people have to walk, a long way to get to the door because there's no disabled spots. I will open the door on the S level so our residents don't have to walk down Ferry Road. You ever try to walk down Ferry Road? It's impossible. Our residents should be able to go down to the elevator and get access to River Road without killing themselves on a hill. I will also pressure the town, the county, and if I have to, I'll go to the state to build a walkway across River Road so we can have access to the river walkway like other residents do along the river. And I want to build a dog run. We're supposed to be a pet-friendly building here, and we don't have any place for our dogs. We have a lot of space. We could find something for our pet-friendly residents. And I will work to create our own website, so we won't have a need for Galaxy Fax or Galaxy Horizon. Well, we have a lot of talent here. Imagine the energy that we would have had if it was directed on our own website instead of 2 opposing websites. And I will strike all my might to stop the construction on the north and south lots. We'll also get rid of our law firm. He's failed us. He's done a terrible job for us. He didn't protect us. And we'll replace the elevator repair people. They don't know what they're doing. The elevators are the worst. And I will search our records and find any evidence of fraud or theft. If I find it, I will go to the authorities. I will prosecute the guilty parties. I will have their property and assets seized, and I will recover our money. And I will do the best.
Mike.
Good evening, fellow owners. I'm Judith Courtney, and I'm running at large from Tower 3. Excuse me. As of a day or so ago, I had a very different introductory speech written. But after talking with, and you may have been seeing me scribbling additions to it, as of a day or so ago, but after talking with many people since my candidate sheet came out, it has come to my attention that some owners have gotten the feeling that from that candidate sheet that I'm in the pocket of a couple of board members. And I want to correct this misapprehension with this 3 minutes that I have. I am not in anyone's pocket, nor does any board member have my unqualified backing. I stand by, now I want to say that in rereading my candidate sheet, I can see why some people might have come to think that. But I stand by my remarks that I think the board is on the right track. And I think that it's fair to give them time to prove that they can do the job. And that's the right way to go. But my next few words on my candidate sheet and I quote, "We need to see that they," unquote, followed by a long list of what we need to make sure that they do. And I also make these remarks in the context of broad strokes, especially financially. We have to get spending in line with income, and we have to pay down our debt. In terms of how we do that, the actions we take, I'm not in anyone's pocket, and I don't agree with everything that's been done. In my opinion, something that's happened, no coffee and tea in the lounge, is not an efficient way to save money. It's penny wise and pound foolish. It's a little amenity that means a lot to a lot of people. If it costs too much because it's being used by people who don't live here, let's find a way to stop that misuse. I think we can figure out something to do. As I've said, I'm new to the Galaxy, although I have plenty of experience in both in running a condo association and creating and sticking to budgets in my advertising career. Because I have no preconceived notions of who are the right people and who are the wrong, my best guess is that both groups have been right and wrong on some occasions. I have the idea that we can all work to make this a great place to live, together. Let's start now. I'm ready. With your support on March 5th, I'll start immediately. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Steve Braitman, and I'd like to start by just indicating that as the only person here who's on the board already, that over the last 3 years, as I look at it, it's been a long, strange trip. I never would have anticipated that the events would have transpired this way, and but I think that now we've made a great deal of progress. It's difficult to see how we're going the exact pathway forward, but based on what's going before us. However, I think that if we can adopt certain principles that have been successful, we can use it to solve a good many of the problems moving forward. What I mean by that is that I think that there are really two principles here that I'm going to suggest are important in selecting a board member. One is the area of judgment, and the other is the area of influence. And by judgment, I mean the ability to make decisions, and I mean even difficult decisions, ones where the answer is not so clear. And also to do it on the basis of fact, not just emotion. And the second is the area of influence. That is to say, the ability first to be able to influence other directors through the weight of argument, etc. Because, after all, no board director manages anything directly. We only make decisions as a body overall. And in the same way, a person needs to be influenceable. The other directors need to know that they are going to be able to have an impact on that director for that director to have influence in turn. So against those kinds of standards, I'd like to suggest that with regard to judgment, some of the decisions that I've been able to push forward that have been especially helpful to the Galaxy. One probably that is the most direct is in the area of the Appleview, the North Flats development. When I came on board to be the liaison, the principal liaison for the board, I found that the attorney who had been representing us had not accomplished much of anything, and at a very high price. We were able to fire him, and within 4 weeks of when I came on board, I made the recommendation to the board and found an attorney much more effective. Just to give you some sense for the difference, there were, I didn't realize I was moving that quickly, but I apologize, I shouldn't have spent that time, but the Appleview program, we now have it basically almost completely blocked based on the effectiveness of this new lawyer. In the same way that I was able to demonstrate the $288,000 change order that the contractor came forward with when the rest of the board was wanting to move